Moon Mondays, unleash your feminine power through astrology. I'm Sheridan, your go-to astrology life coach, sharing this week's woman-centered astrology, empowering you to use astrology to realize your full potential. We begin this week of November 11th with the waxing moon in Pisces. The moon's getting bigger, meeting up with Neptune before entering Aries tonight. And Venus enters Capricorn today. So our divine feminine planet, Venus, is changing signs today. So one feminine representative, the moon, is entering a fire sign tonight. And the other, Venus, is leaving a fire sign today. So fire is activated today, as well as water and earth, which the moon is leaving and Venus is entering, right? So that's our realms of individualism, fire, our emotions, water, the feeling realm, and our groundedness, right? Earth, all getting some juice today. So how are you feeling, right? Are you a fire girl, a water woman, an earth mama? What elements feel best to you? I personally love them all, and they play a big role. They all play a big role in my natal chart. But in my Virgo moon heart, I am an earth mama all the way, right? I always say the earth is what saved me. So what about you? Comment below, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Before I jump into more of this week's divine feminine astrology, did you happen to get to see the crescent moon with Venus last week? I mentioned this in last week's Moon Mondays. If you did get to see it, pretty cool, right? If you missed it, you'll get another chance in December. Ooh, also in December, I'm going to be offering a free solstice intention setting class and ceremony. So stay tuned for more on that to come. So the moon moves from watery, dreamy, sometimes caught up in illusions or even addictions, Pisces, into fiery Aries today, right? Pisces, the healer sign that easily merges into all of us with empathy and compassion and love, changes into Aries, warrioress, protector, stand in her individual strength and power, Wonder Woman energy tonight. So from the unification of Pisces into the individualism of Aries. So how do you experience this shift? I suggest taking notes for yourself so you can see what's coming up for you as the moon moves around the zodiac each month, right? It's all about increasing our awareness and how do we work with the energies to create the lives that we truly want to be living. So on Wednesday, the moon meets with Chiron, still all in Aries, and then moves into Taurus. Chiron is another healer energy archetype like Pisces. Chiron makes us aware of our core wounds so we can heal them and become more whole, right? That's really the objective here. So with this conjunction happening in Aries, it could bring up the wounds we use to protect ourselves, well, and even from ourselves, right? So constantly licking our wounds and just staying kind of stuck in that can distract us from uncovering that vulnerable skin that lies like underneath the scab, right? This keeps us from embracing our wholeness, standing in that Aries strength and power and individuation, right? I am who I am. I'm okay. All of me is fine, right? Warts and all the positives and the challenges, right? That's the wholeness. So next, the moon enters Taurus, which is the sign of bodily sensual pleasure. This could feel nicely soothing after uncovering some of our wounding. Taurus seeks to enjoy itself and feel good in its body. And body issues can often be the wound that needs the most healing for us women, which, if we think about it, is truly perfect because the feminine is a grounded energy. It's an energy that is in the body, it's of the body. So healing the wounding around our bodies helps us evolve into our feminine empowered energy, which is really Taurus all the way. So does the moon moving into Taurus trigger you, or does it feel good to you? This isn't an invitation to judge yourself, just an exploration into greater awareness for yourself. Friday is the big moon day this week with the full moon in Taurus. The Taurus moon is opposite the Scorpio sun, bringing the bright full moon rising as the sun sets or setting as the sun rises if you're an early bird like me, right? So this is an axis many of us know and love, especially where I live here in Aspen, Colorado, right? We love the rush of Scorpio and Taurus in our bodies, right? We play hard. Many of us party hard, and we live hard at high altitude. This full moon should activate some of that pushing the edge of intensity or enjoyment for us. Scorpio and Taurus thrive on the axis of power, right? They're two opposite signs of each other on one axis. So for Scorpio, it's often about power over themselves, which can often come in the form of like self-flagellation with severe discipline after wild excess. Scorpio gets off on intensity, going to the extremes, and then it can overcompensate by being extremely disciplined as another form of intensity, right? Another way to experience that power. On the other side of the power axis, for Taurus, it can be about power over others to do their pleasure bidding, right? Taurus just wants to feel as good as possible for as long as possible. And sometimes that comes in the form of just sitting back and receiving the enjoyment others provide. But sometimes on that shadow side, it can be taking what they feel is theirs, whether they want to, whether you want to give it or not, right? There's a power dynamic that gets activated with this particular Scorpio sun, Taurus full moon. And adding into this, this full moon is conjunct, meaning it's right with Uranus, our planet for growth and change, increasing our awareness, making us see what we can't or don't want to see. Also on Friday, Saturn stations direct, ending its retrograde cycle. So there is a lot of activated energy around this full moon. I expect some stuff to come up for us in our real world Saturn lives, right? Saturn's a real world, middle world planet that impacts like where we experience our day-to-day world. It could point out what is working and what isn't working. So just listen and pay attention. You don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to fix it yet. Just allow yourself the deeper awareness. That's the Uranus piece. Lastly, I'll just add that the full moon traditionally is a time to celebrate ourselves. So celebrate whatever this full moon brings up for you, be it fun and pleasure, right? The more exalted side of Scorpio and Taurus, or where you need to do a little growth work. It's all good because this is how we evolve into being our true, authentic selves. And that's ultimately a beautiful journey. Late on Friday and early into Saturday, the moon enters Gemini, which always brings the fun and an expansiveness and helps us in getting out of our own ways. It can get a little bit cerebral too. It's an air sign, so watch out for that if you're an overthinker like me. Ride the air currents of Gemini and use this energy to get out of your box a bit, hopefully in an enjoyable way. I'll see you next Monday when the moon enters Cancer, its resonant sign, and Pluto moves into Aquarius for good. This is a big deal happening next week. And we enter Sagittarius season, right? So lots of changing energies coming next week. If you want to learn more about creating your ideal life with the moon, grab my free guide, 3 Steps to Changing Your Life with the New Moon at my website, Sheridan Semple, or click the link below. And then comment, ask me questions. Let me know if you're a water girl, an earth mama, what works for you, fire woman, air woman, all of that. I'd love to hear. Like below if you feel so inspired, and thanks for watching, and I wish you a feminine empowered week.